Hey everybody, welcome to Crackback Tuesday, number 108 on the Mana League. I'm John as always, and we've got another pack of Amonkhet here, and by my count, we only have like 5 of these, including this one left, before we're into Hour of Devastation set review. So let's crack this open, see what's in it, and see what we would take. Pack one, pick one, if this was a draft. Up first, we've got ourselves a Bloodlust Insider. Yes, somebody picked it second at the Pro Tour. No, I don't think you really should unless you're super forcing aggro. Not a first pick for me. Miasmic Mummy, 1 and a black for a 2/2 Zombie Jackal. When it enters the battlefield, each player discards a card. It's a fine card if you're in zombies. It's a fine card if you're in the cycling deck. But it's far from a first pick. Giant Spider, Ditto, 3 and a green for a creature spider, 2/4 reach. Generally, you probably don't even main deck this. You side it in when you see some flyers. There's just so much else that green has and wants, and you're not going to go for this. Gustwalker is a valid first pick. It's not, it's not a bomby one, but boy, is it good. 1 and a white for a creature human wizard at 2/2. You may exert it as it attacks. When you do, it gets +1/+1 against flying until end of turn. This is the backbone of the aggro decks. This is one of the exert cards that I think they probably broke a little bit when they decided that the format was too grindy and they wanted to speed it up. Definitely a valid first pick, as unbomby as it is, although it's bomby for a common. Blazing Volley, a single red mana for a sorcery, deal 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. It's an okay-ish sideboard card if you're up against a whole lot of Nefcrop Entanglers and Retcrop Spearmasters, but you're never going to main deck this and you're never going to pick it highly. Chakra Elite, interesting how this format's kind of shaken out. This is 4 mana, and that's too much for some people, which is dumb in my opinion. 3 and a white for a creature bird warrior, 2/2 flying. When it attacks, you can exert it and give the team +1/+1. I still like it quite a bit. I don't think I'd first pick it, certainly not against a Gustwalker, but I'll play these. I'll play a second copy. I might even play a third copy here or there. But yeah, a solid card, but it's not competing with Gustwalker, so no reason to keep it in frame. Floodwater is 4 blue for a sorcery. Return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand, cycling for 2 generic mana. This is fine if you are able to get to the late game, and it's okay that it can cycle as well, but be careful. You might just get run over if you're playing a deck that wants to play this. Not a first pick, regardless of format, really. Gift of Paradise, 2 and a green for an enchantment aura. Enchant land. When Gift of Paradise enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Enchanted land has tap. Add 2 mana of any color to your mana pool. Any one color, sorry. Can't read cards that well at the moment. Yeah, this is alright in a ramp deck, but there's so many better ways. Naga Vitalist, Channeler Initiate. I'd probably play the Oasher Cultivator over this as well. Certainly not a first pick regardless. Wasteland Scorpion is our last common, meaning that we do have a foil in this pack. Wasteland Scorpion's 2 and a black for a creature scorpion, 2/2 Death Touch, cycling 2. Fine card, you're happy to pick one up in black, nowhere near a first pick. Our first uncommon is Time to Reflect, a single white mana for an instant, exile target creature that blocked or was blocked by a zombie this turn. I've never played this card. I've played the zombie deck a few times, but I've never gotten my hands on this. Obviously, if you're in the zombie deck, this is amazing. It's Swords to Plowshares. If you're not in the zombie deck, this is garbage. You don't touch it. And you certainly don't take this to go into the zombie deck, because the zombie deck might just not be open for you. Let this go. Pick it up if it comes back around, but it might not. Our second uncommon is Watchers of the Dead. Watchers of the Dead is 2 generic mana for an artifact creature cat. It's a 2/2 exile it. Each opponent chooses 2 cards in his or her graveyard and then exiles the rest. That is horrible. That is absolutely awful. You'll never hit what you want to hit with that. So this is really just a generic 2/2 for 2, which isn't even that good in this format, surprisingly. You'll play it if you desperately need a 23rd card, but otherwise you're not touching this, and certainly not a first pick. Our final uncommon is a blue-black Shadowstorm Vizier, 1/3 creature human cleric with flying, and whenever you cycle or discard a card, Shadowstorm Vizier gets +1/+1 until end of turn. The cycling deck is cool. I've played it a few times. It does absolutely fold to aggro, unfortunately, like most things do. But this is really one of the weaker payoffs. Being 2 colors and being for a very specific deck, though, you can almost always get these on the wheel. Don't waste a real pick on a Shadowstorm Vizier, but pick one up if you see it come around again. Our rare is a Prowling Serpapard, 1 green for a creature cat snake, 4/3 with some flavor text on it. It's very rare that the can't be countered clause is ever going to matter. So really it's just a 4/3 for 3, which in many sets is a card that would make you go, hey, this is a really good card. In this set, there's a 4/3 for 2 that's just frankly flat out better than this. Yeah. Amonkhet. Design problems all around. All right, so we're looking at Gustwalker or Prowling Serpapard, but I said we had a foil. It's a forest. Womp womp. We did get a mythic token, Angel of Sanctions. But yeah, this is really between two incredibly unsplashy picks of Prowling Serpapard or Gustwalker. And I think I just take the Gustwalker. The way this set's shaped up, the way aggro is important, the way 3 mana is like the top of many curves decks, I'm just taking the Gustwalker. Prowling Serpapard has been very unimpressive to me. This set is just not friendly for it. As good as it would be in other sets, I'm taking Mr. Gustwalker here. Let me know what you would have taken in the comments down below. Would you have taken the Gustwalker, the Prowling Serpapard, something else? This is a real weak pack, guys. Real weak. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeak, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeak, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeak, where you can work your way towards earning one of these playmats right here. And if you do like the videos, click that thumbs up button. If it's your first time here, click subscribe if you want to see more. I do a lot of weekly content. And if you do have those questions, those comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.